Hello guys, and welcome to a guide on how to make a port checker PHP script. So basically what this is going to do is a user will input an IP and a port, and you'll be able to check if the port's open, thus seeing if the machine is online, for example a server or a computer. This is kind of the basics of a network monitoring script, so I will show you how the basic functionality of this works. First off, we're going to start by opening our HTML. Well, actually, first we'll make the file. So I'm going to save this one as. Also, I've already got a style sheet in here. I'll show that one in a minute. So the first one is the index.php. We'll save this one as, for example, status.php. So I'll quickly open that style sheet. Okay, that's the style sheet. It's just a really simple one. So nothing special. But I didn't really want to write all that out again, just to jumble it all around. Anyway, so we're gonna open up a simple, simple tags for HTML, because we are going to use some HTML on this for the input things, whatever, for the inputs. So first off, we're going to want a form. Actually, first we'll include the style sheet. So obviously that style sheet, which is in the actual directory of this file, we're going to have to include that. So yeah, we're going to have to include the style sheet, that's type, which is the type is text /CSS, and then rel, or rather href, we call it the core CSS. So that's the basic include for the style sheet. So we can now call on any div that we have made, actually inside that style sheet anyway. So also we should probably just give the page a quick title. I don't know, port checker. Oh god, if I could type port checker, okay. Yeah, okay. Port, okay, right, there we go. Good title. Now we'll just quickly call on the div so we can actually style sheet it all out, and I can show you what the actual layout looks like before I start putting anything else into it. So just for Internet Explorer's purpose, we're going to actually center the whole thing, because sometimes Internet Explorer will actually understand the style sheet I have, being one of the most annoying style sheets. So basically I call one box, which is this one, which is a simple box. Yeah, it's just a simple box in the middle, positioned in the middle with 350. So we're going to call on that box, and then I made a class which is going to round the edges of the box, which is called round, I believe. Yeah, round. And then quickly just for the sake of this, we'll leave it centered for the moment. Okay, so then we're going to have to build a form. So basics of a form, you start with form, and then you want to do the action. Right, the action is when you click submit on the form, it will push you to the selected action you want. So after we submit this form, we need it to go to status.php. So literally we just write status.php in here, and it will carry over any information that we need from this actual form. The method, right, this is really important. Not so much in this form I'm making, but certainly when you're dealing with passwords and usernames and emails and stuff, you always want to make sure that your method is post. This is so when it pushes you to status.php, it doesn't actually display the input data into the address bar. I can show you this a bit later once the script is built a little bit more, but for the moment we're just going to use post. really doesn't matter on this type of script, but we're gonna use it like that for the moment. So for the rest of it, we're gonna quickly make some paragraph tabs. We're gonna do enter IP address. Just to neaten it up, we do a line break just there, and then we start with the input type. This can just be text. And the name, quite important, because we're going to have to be calling on these inputs in the next bit, in the status in the PHP. We actually have to be calling on these things, so we're going to call it IP just to keep it simple. And then obviously make sure it's all ended, make it neater. Once again, we're going to do another one of these. This time we're going to do enter port, which is necessary for what we're going to be wanting to use it for. So next input type is once again text. Just a simple text. If you put password in this, it will actually dot out all your characters you put in like a password filled word. If you put email, the clever thing is browsers nowadays will actually check if you have put an email in there, and if not, it will come up with a custom little message saying this is not a valid email address. So yeah, input type text, and then the name, keep it simple, just got a port, and I want to end it just like that. Okay, so we've got that. We now need to have a submit button, which is input type equals submit. Now we don't need a name on this because we're not calling on the submit button. We don't need any information from the submit button because it's not an input field. So this time we just give it a value, which seriously whatever, which literally just gives a name on the screen. So obviously we wanted this called submit. Submit. There we go. So this basically, all this does is end the form here. That just creates a submit button called submit, so we can change this to login, register if you're making different scripts where that's required. Which I will make a simple script to register a user, which inserts the data into a database and MD5 hashes it and stuff. But again, that's my point. So yeah, okay, that's fine. Next, normally when people use a port checker, they want to check a port on their own IP. So just for user, just to make it easier to use, basically the actual script, we're gonna just put this onto. We're just gonna include a little bit of a function to give the user their IP. So as soon as they go on the page, it will echo out their IP onto the page. So we'll just call this your IP, and this is equal to a built-in function, global, super global, called server remote address. Yes, address. Like such, like just like that. So that'll basically set your IP as the variable, the URIP variable, sorry, as your IP. So then all we need to do is basically echo it. So what we're going to do, we're going to echo your IP address is, and then we can do just like this, your IP. Yes, that's what we need to do. Your IP address is blah blah. That's what it is. Yeah. So after that, we just want to I like to just neaten the whole script up, but I should do that later. Okay. So there we go. No, sorry, not that. There we go. Okay. And I made a mistake there as well. Okay. So that will basically just echo out your IP, so the server will find your IP and it will set it as your IP, and then it will echo out. So if we just save that at the moment, yep, and then we go to here, which is the local host, to the 5, and there we go. So we have these fields. enter your IP address, which is the first field we made, enter your port.